On today's trip around the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, a few safety reminders. Please remain seated. Keep all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. If you guys look above your heads today, you'll see a wildlife spotting guide that shows pictures of a lot of the animals we could see. Not a guarantee we'll see all of them, but fingers crossed we see as many as possible. Also, as a reminder, it is these animals' homes that we're about to enter today, not ours. So we do want to be respectful as we enter them. We're going to keep our voices to a minimum. We're not going to call out to these animals or use any noises that may startle or spook them. The first part of the reserve we are entering today is the Little Ituri Forest. Keyword here being forest. There's going to be a lot of trees and bushes, sometimes making it a little bit difficult to spot some of these animals. Out to the right, we've got an okapi. Okapis have black and white stripes on their legs. A lot of people think that because of those stripes they're related to the zebra, when they're more closely related to the giraffe based on their skeletal structure and prehensile tongue. We've also got a yellowback duiker out to the right. Yellowback duikers are small black animals with a yellow patch of fur. Duiker does mean to dive in the language Afrikaans, and yellowback duikers love to dive in bushes. Now to the left here, we've got two different animals. We've got the bongo and the greater kudu. The bongos are reddish brown in color. Greater kudus are tan in color. Bongos, both male and females, will have horns, whereas the greater kudu, only males have horns, so we know that those were female to our left. Bongos use their horns to get through thick bushes. They're also referred to as the ghosts of the forest, as they are shy and great at hiding. We're going to keep on moving here through the forest, see if we can find another animal. It looks like we're going to have one coming up on our left at the top of this hill or cliff. We're going to have a black rhino. Black rhinos can reach 3,000 pounds. They can run at 35 miles per hour, and they're going to have a prehensile upper lip. Prehensile meaning finger-like. It's going to be pointy, and it helps them grab things. Rhinos are often poached for their horns. Their horns are believed to have a medicinal benefit to us, when in all reality, they do not. Their horns are made out of keratin, which is the same thing that makes up our hair and fingernails, so their horns give us no medicinal benefit. We're going to keep on moving here. We're going to head right on out of the Little Ituri Forest and into the Safi River. The Safi River is going to be home to some of our more aquatic animals. Aquatic animals such as the Nile crocodile and the Nile hippopotamus. Coming up on our right here, we're going to have some pink-backed pelicans. Pink-backed pelicans are the light gray birds with long beaks. They get their pink coloration during mating season. They have a wingspan of 6 to 8 feet in width, which is the same width as the awning above our heads today. Out to the right here, we've got a hippo. Hippos can hold their breath for about 8 minutes at a time. We've also got some out to the left. An adult hippo can reach 5,500 pounds, and in a group setting, they're called a bloat. Hippos do have hairless skin, and because their skin has no hair, they're going to stay in the water most of the day to keep their skin as hydrated as possible. They're going to come out at night to find food. If you guys would like a closer look at some hippos, you can head over to the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail, where they do have a hippo pool viewing area, so you might be able to see some hippos swimming around in the water right over there. Now to our left here, as we head over this bridge, we've got some Nile crocodile. Nile crocodile can reach 16 feet in length and 500 pounds. Mother and father Nile crocodile will often roll their eggs in their mouths while their babies hatch. As we exit the Safi River, we're going to head into the savannah today. The savannah is home to some of our most well-known animals. Animals such as the lion, the cheetah, the giraffe, and the elephant. As a reminder, it's not a guarantee we'll see all these animals, but fingers crossed we see as many as possible. Coming up up on our right here, we're going to have a baobab tree. Baobab trees are going to remain leafless for about 9 months of the year. They hold their water in their trunk. Animals will often puncture the trunk of the tree to get to the water inside, especially on hot days, which is why they could also be known as the tree of life. Now we are going to start to head down this hill. As we do start to head down the hill, there may be a variety of different animals roaming around. I'm going to mention the ones closest to us first. The ones out in the distance, I'll mention as we do get closer.
I know that one.
Now it looks like coming up on our right here, we're going to have 2 different animals. We've got some zebra and a giraffe. A group of zebras is called a dazzle, but more specifically, these are the Hartman's mountain zebra, and the Hartman's mountain zebra have a dewlap under their neck. That dewlap aids in blood circulation, helps cool them down on hot days. Also out to the right, kind of behind that tree, is a Maasai giraffe. Maasai giraffe are going to have rough jagged patches. That's how we know they are the Maasai giraffe over any other giraffe species. Also, no 2 giraffes will ever have the same patch pattern. It's kind of like our fingerprints. It's how they tell themselves apart. To the left here, we've got some African painted dogs. African painted dogs are going to have 4 toes per paw. They have a great success rate at hunting, as they do hunt in packs and run their prey into exhaustion. Now coming up on our right and left, we're going to have some Ankole cattle. The Ankole cattle have those big horns on the top of their head. Those horns can reach 36 inches from base to tip. They look pretty heavy, but they're actually not. They have a honeycomb-like structure inside, as they contain blood vessels that help cool the cattle down on hot days. Also out to the left there, we've got some sable antelope. Sable antelope have slender, slick-back horns on the top of their head. Those horns help them fend off predators from jumping on their back. Predators such as lions, cheetahs, and the African painted dogs we just saw. On our right and left here, we're going to have some termite mounds. Termite mounds are very hard in structure. Animals will often use these mounds as scratching posts out on the reserve, and as the mounds deteriorate, smaller antelope will use them as lookout points across the savannah. Now to our right here, we're going to have another one of those giraffe. Giraffe are the tallest animal in the world. They can reach 16 to 20 feet tall when full grown. Baby giraffe when first born are about 6 feet tall, so even they are taller than I will ever be. And a group of giraffes is called a tower, as they do tower over the rest of the savannah. Now if we get another good look at some of those giraffes, and you look at the top of their head, they have these things called ossicones. Those are those things that look like horns. They're not actually horns though, it's part of their skeleton, they're not going anywhere. Both them and okapis have ossicones, hence why they are related based on their skeletal structure. Now, if you look out to the right, by the bushes in the shade, all the way in the distance there's a brightly colored antelope. That is going to be springbok. Springbok are a small gazelle that can jump 6 to 8 feet straight into the air and 13 feet far in front of themselves. To put that into perspective, that is straight through this truck. And if you look to the right here, you can see those ossicles on the top of that giraffe on their head I was talking about earlier. Now we are going to keep on moving here. In a moment, we're going to head into what is called elephant territory. So fingers crossed we see an elephant out there today. But before we get there, we do have to pass through some rocks and broken down trees. So we're going to go pretty slowly, pretty carefully, as we do want to make it there safely. And it looks like we're gonna make it, or we're gonna look out for an elephant. Now to the right there, we've got that African elephant. African elephants are social creatures. Mother and children elephants will remain in large herds, where as males mature, they're going to go off into isolation or form small bachelor herds. Something interesting that researchers have found here at Disney's Animal Kingdom is that elephants are afraid to get stung by bees. Farmers in Kenya have implemented this research by incorporating beehives to surround their crops. This helps out the farmers because elephants are no longer eating or destroying their crops. They also get an additional cash crop of honey. It also helps out those elephants because farmers can get territorial over their crops. So it is a win-win scenario for everyone. And it goes to show that if you donate to the Disney Conservation Fund, whether that be here or at home, online, those funds don't go to waste. They go directly to helping these wonderful, beautiful animals we're seeing today. As we head off that bridge down this hill, we're coming up on the red clay pits. Red clay is very high in minerals. Animals will often eat the red clay to get to the minerals inside, similar to the way that we eat our vitamins every day. It gives them nutrients and helps them survive. Try to keep our eyes peeled to the left, see if we can spot any more of those elephants. Elephants use dirt and mud as a form of natural sunblock, cooling them down and protecting their skin from the harsh rays of the sun. I think I see some of those elephants kind of hiding out in the back. We'll try to get closer, but I can't guarantee it. Another way that elephants cool themselves down is by flapping their ears back and forth. Their ears contain blood vessels, so by doing so, they're able to regulate their body temperature, decreasing it almost 15 degrees, which is pretty useful, pretty helpful. Now to the right here, we've got some more of those baobab trees. As a reminder, baobab trees are also called the tree of life. Another name they could be called is the upside down tree, because without those leaves, those branches look like vines in the sky. We're gonna head through this water. As we head through that water. Coming up on our left here, we're going to have the greater flamingo. The greater flamingo are the largest but the least pink of the flamingo species. They get their pink coloration from their diet. Their diet is going to be brine shrimp, which contains a protein called beta-carotene. Now, at first born, these flamingos are small, gray, and fluffy. They don't get their full pink coloration until about 2 to 2.5 years of age. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. So that's what we're passing right there to our left, a flamboyance of flamingo. We're going to head through these rocks and into rhino territory. It looks like we've got some rhinos hanging out. These are going to be the white rhinos. White rhinos are the larger of the two rhino species that we have on the reserve. They can reach 5,000 pounds. They can still run at 35 miles per hour, but instead of a prehensile pointy upper lip like the black rhino, they're going to have a wide flat upper lip, which they use to graze on grass. We've got a couple more out to our right here. White rhinos tend to be a little bit more social than the black rhinos we already saw, so that's why we've seen a couple of them here. We saw one black rhino earlier. Rhinos in a group setting are called a crash. So that was a crash of white rhino that we just saw there. Now if we look out to the left here, we're going to see a cheetah. Cheetahs are the fastest animal on land, reaching 60 miles per hour. At about 3 seconds, they can't withstand that speed for very long, only about 1 to 2 football fields in length. They could definitely reach it pretty quickly. It was a little hard to see because the sun was pretty bright there, so we're going to head down this way, see if we can spot any more cheetahs out to the left here. It does not look like there's any out here, so we'll keep on moving. We're going to head towards the Kopi Rocks. The Kopi Rocks are a rock formation used by animals to get a good lookout point across the savannah. It's not a guarantee there's any animals on these rocks, but fingers crossed there is. We're going to drive around them anyways. There to the left, we got that female lion. We'll keep moving, see if we can get a little bit of a better view. Lions, like the cats you may have at home, will rest for about 16 to 20 hours a day. They save their energy to hunt at night when they have their best eyesight or vision. A lion's roar can be heard about 5 miles away. That's how they communicate across the wide open savannah. And to the right here, we've got some ostrich. Ostrich are the fastest animal on 2 legs, reaching 40 miles per hour. They cannot fly, but they will use their wings to change directions while running at fast speeds. Now let's head down here, kind of where that truck was. The sun's still pretty bright. Let's see if we can spot those animals, or the lions, a little bit better on this side. I think it's just that female lion. If you guys see a male lion, you can let me know. Well, coming up on our left down this way, we're going to have some warthogs. Warthogs are burrowing animals. They'll reuse burrows of other animals, so they are recyclers in that sense. They'll back into those burrows, keeping their heads out front, keeping them protected from any threats or predators. They'll also use their tusks as a defense mechanism.
Where's the meerkat?
As we head this way, we might get a little glimpse of those ostrich again. An adult male ostrich can weigh almost 300 pounds, so they are pretty large.
Yes. That's live action.
We're going to hold here for just a moment.
But just far enough.
To the right there, we've got some ostrich eggs. Now, a single ostrich egg is going to weigh about 3 pounds. That's the same weight as about 2 dozen regular eggs. They're also pretty sturdy. They can withstand the weight of an adult ostrich standing on top of them. And that comes in handy when your parents are an ostrich. Ostrich can get a tad bit clumsy at times. Now we are going to head over this little bridge here. As we do so, we are leaving the savannah and heading into the Magadi Glen. The Magadi Glen is home to the warden's post here on the reserve. The warden does like to raise some Nigerian dwarf goats that we'll see here momentarily to our left. These goats are full grown. They won't get any bigger than that. They do produce a sweet milk which can be used for dairy products and soap making. If you'd like a closer look at some Nigerian dwarf goats, you can head over to Rafiki's Planet Watch where they have the affection section. At the affection section, you can brush and pet some animals, including some Nigerian dwarf goats, some sheep, and some pigs. For now, we're going to head through this final gate. As we do so, our safari together is coming to a close today. I hope you all have enjoyed the fun and cool animals we've seen, such as the lion, the cheetah, the giraffe, and the zebra. Here at Disney's Animal Kingdom, our goal is to help inform guests of conservation efforts that have and can be taken to help save animals around the world. One thing you can do at home is recycle your electronics such as your phone, tablet, and computers. These electronics have a mineral called coltan in them, and coltan is a highly recyclable mineral that is mined for in Africa. Now, the mining efforts to get to this mineral does cause some habitat destruction for animals, so if at all possible, recycling your electronics can help save the lives and homes of animals such as the elephants we saw today. As we begin to approach the dock for you guys to exit, please start to gather all of your belongings. This includes your phone, your keys, your wallets, your bags, your purses, anything that you brought with you onto the truck. Please take with you off of the truck.